what is a positive mindset? Week 4. So the past few weeks, I've covered concepts such as fixed mindset versus growth mindset, what a positive mindset is not, that's toxic positivity. We've looked at being responsible or being a victim in your life. And we've also looked at if you're being solutions focused or not. This week, I'm actually going to get into focusing on what you want instead of what you don't want. And number 2, we're going to be talking about your self-talk and the things you say about yourself to other people or the things you say about other people and how this all encourages a positive mindset. Before I get into that, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Coach Krissa. I'm a fear coach specializing in mental and emotional health on the brain. And I focus specifically in the area of mindset and depression and anxiety and rewiring your brain with better thoughts, habits, and beliefs to get you out of some of these negative emotional states. So let's take a look at the area of anxiety. Anxiety is a really fascinating concept because the very definition of anxiety is worrying about something in the future, of the potential of something happening that we have no control over right now. So we get this feeling of being out of control or this feeling of being powerless over something that hasn't even happened yet. So it's a fear of the future or a fear of what if. And we can pay attention to our what if thoughts or anxiety inducing thoughts by if they typically start with what if. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if people don't like me? What if I lose my job? What if that person breaks up with me? So this is the root of anxiety, is this future-based thinking, worrying about things out of our control or things that haven't even happened yet based on using what if. Now, humans are actually the only animals capable of creating future-based scenarios in our minds. So we can project ourselves into multiple possible futures and take a look at, well, if I respond this way, what can that response look like? If I do this, what can that look like? Now, this is a great superpower. However, we have this other side of our mammalian brain that doesn't understand the difference. Like our brain can't recognize the difference between past, present, or future-based things. So it just groups it all into the present moment now. So anytime we think about all these what-if, worst-case scenarios, what's actually happening in the brain is it assumes that all these things are happening now, and the brain panics and freaks out because now it's going on in overdrive, feeling like all these bad things are happening right now. Then we start to get anxious states, we start to get more anxiety. So really the cornerstone of controlling anxiety is really focusing, where you're putting your focus. And this has a lot to do with our self-talk, it has a lot to do with our actions, and it has a lot to do with our worries. So if you're a chronic worrier, pay attention. This is something that you'll want to change. One of the main things of positive thinking is positive thinkers focus on what they want. Successful people focus on what they want. They do not focus on what they don't want. Why? Because they intuitively understand that focusing on what we don't want only puts our attention there, which then takes up our mental focus. It takes up our energy. It gives us this anxiety instead of giving us these feelings of empowerment. So when you focus on what you want, and I have other videos on how to overcome this as well. I think there's another video on anxiety. When we focus on what we want, we're actually directing our energy positively. We're basically shortening where our energy is going, and we're directing it into a positive emotional state so that we show our brain, hey, this potential positive future is totally possible. Your brain then goes, okay, great. Now let's look for opportunities to get you that result. So not only is your emotional state more stable and positive and motivating in the moment, but your brain is also looking for opportunities to get you there. Pretty powerful stuff. So that's number 1, is watch what you're focusing on. I have other videos on that, so I won't get too much into that. Number 2 is paying attention to your self-talk. Another interesting concept about the brain. The brain doesn't know the difference between when you talk about somebody else or yourself. So if you say that person's ugly, or I hate her, she's a bitch, or oh, that person's such an idiot, your brain thinks that you're talking about yourself. And actually, 98% of our self-talk is negative. 98%. So most of the thoughts we have, most of the self-talk we have is negative and self-harming. And our thoughts are very closely related to our emotions. So anytime we think a negative thought, it actually will bring up an old negative emotion or belief system. Anytime we say anything negative about someone, it does the same thing. And anytime we tell somebody something negative about ourselves, we're just reinforcing that mindset. This is the opposite of positive thinking. If you want to truly harness a positive thinking mindset, it has absolutely everything to do with taking charge of your self-talk, being compassionate to yourself, and starting to change the things you're saying about yourself to other people, and change the things you're saying about other people as well. So it would be a lot like having a little devil on your shoulder, or somebody in the background saying, you're worthless, you're ugly, you can't do that, people don't like you, what are you even thinking? And you might not even be aware of how much negative thoughts you have about yourself during the day. Start to pay attention to this self-talk. And it's not always easy, because sometimes we've been telling ourselves this for so long, these negative things, it becomes an identity. We start to feel actually deserving of this negativity. This is comfortable now for us. This is our comfort zone. And actually getting told that we're lovable, told that we're beautiful, told that we're handsome, told that we're capable is so alien and foreign to us and our brains that we actually reject it even. But you can accept this information. You can change that self-talk by being on it as much as possible. Start to be aware of what you're saying about other people. Now, it's something that might take time, but imagine that there was a little devil on your shoulder and it was just saying all these negative things to you all the time. Well, now maybe you can understand why you've experienced anxiety or depression, or why you might be worried all the time, or why you might just not be feeling great or motivated about your life and about making change. What if you no longer had that little devil on your shoulder and you only had positive, motivating, loving, and encouraging thoughts? How would that change you? How would that change your feelings of self-worth? How would that change your feelings of what you're capable of, or your motivation, or your energy levels? Okay, if you're tired all the time, if you're experiencing things like insecurity, which many people do, most of us struggle with this area of low self-worth, this is where it starts, that self-love, self-talk. This is big stuff. And this is all the stuff I do as an NLP Matrix therapy coach. Again, I want to help you be your best self, and it starts with taking ownership of what we're saying, what we're doing, and how we're thinking. And sometimes we have to feel deserving of those thoughts. So again, what I do as an NLP Matrix therapy coach is we take a deep dive into your unconscious mind. We clear up some childhood events where you might have taken certain negative learnings about yourself, so that we can reframe them so you feel better and you see yourself differently, so you can actually start to talk to yourself whole lot nicer, and other people as well. If you're interested in that, go to my website, www.coachcarissa.com. You can also check out reviews there. You can send me a DM as well. I give out complimentary sample sessions so that you can try this stuff out. You can see what I do and see the power of rewiring your brain with better thoughts, habits, and emotions. Why not? If it's something you're struggling with, if you're not feeling great about your life, then it's your responsibility to take charge of that and see that there's somebody out there that, hey, this person knows what they're doing, this person knows what they're talking about, this person has been through that. Let's start to get to know what they know so that I can get to that level too. We are responsible for our lives. We can reach these levels of positive thinking. It's not about just thinking happy thoughts. It's primarily about acknowledging where we are now, being willing to acknowledge we're wrong, being responsible for the things showing up in our life now, and accepting help when it's given, or or where it's needed. These are the cornerstones, knowing that we can fail and we can keep going, and that's okay. This is all what positive thinking is all about, and I get into that and more as an NLP Matrix therapy coach. So go to my website, DM me, let's hook you up with a session so that you can actually try this stuff out for your life, so you can achieve real change. You can be the person you are meant to be. You can succeed on your mission. My mission is to help light workers push past their fears to be the person they are meant to be, or be healers in this world, or make positive change in the world. That's you. We're all here for a reason. I truly believe that, and I'm excited to help you get to that next stage on your journey. So check that out, www.coachcarissa.com. If you've liked this video, if it spoke to you, if it helped you in any way, please like it, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share with your friends. That helps me make more of these videos. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, mindset matters.